to be daring, baby.
Hi everyone, today I want to show you a few things. I've got them here. I haven't really shopped that much for art supplies and things. I have been really busy creating my own products, and so there are just a few little things that I bought predominantly yesterday, and I just wanted to share them with you just in case you wanted to go and get it yourself. So I can't link any of those things, I'm really sorry, because they came from two places. All of that came from the shop called Flying Tiger, Copenhagen. So I know they have the shop throughout UK. I'm not sure about America. Do let us know down below in the comments if you have this shop. And then the other place is Museum, the University of Cambridge Museum Botanical Gardens. So couple of things. First of all, I have mentioned, let me just put this away. I have mentioned this Tiger shop quite a few times. They do lovely craft grade watercolor paper and all sorts of things. So what they do is essentially it's like a small, super packed IKEA with very pretty and affordable things in there. And they change the stock so frequently that when I go there every few weeks, there is something new, and I love the color scheme. So this time the color scheme was just perfect, and I couldn't resist getting a few things. So this could be useful for someone who has art space or studio, or if you just love crafting and you like things to look, even if it's just a little corner of your art and craft space that you have, that you like it to look nice and pretty, you know, these things usually help to do that. So first of all, they had new cotton yarn, which again features this beautiful turquoisey teal color, which is just, I mean, I was mentioning these inks and look at that, it's all kind of matchy. Love the color at the moment. And yeah, if I could just randomly pull out things from my stuff around me, you can see there is a lot of this color. My nails, my brand logo, it's my like favorite color at the moment. So yeah. And I love the fact that it's teamed up with this beautiful, quite unique, it's sort of like a red, but a muted coral red color, like a coral pink. Doesn't show up too well on the camera, this top color, but this color is exactly how it shows up here. It's so juicy and beautiful. Like this would be a perfect lipstick color. In fact, I did an illustration the other day, which I can't show you because I'm working on something. But yeah, in this color, beautiful. Okay, so that's that. The one that I got over Christmas time was this other color scheme. You can see that they're like the same thing, just different color schemes. And if you are into knitting or crocheting, they change the colors very frequently, so you can do a nice little collection. Okay, let's move on to the sort of breakable stuff. So all of these are not plastic. They are, what are they made from? Plant pot. Okay, so this is for plants, but it doesn't say what it's made out of. Anyway, it's all made in China, but quite pretty. So this is supposed to, like, you can put like a little cacti in there, but what I got this for is for separating like different pans, because I have so many of them now, and actually I wanted to keep these in here. So I don't know if you remember, a while ago I bought these, what are they called? Koh-i-Noor pencils, and they're quite short, so they are actually perfect for this little glass like that. So they sit nicely in there. So now I can have them separately on my desk or something. Then there's this thing which says it's a vase. So you could cut like a single flower and put it in there and, you know, have a pretty fresh flower, especially now with the tulips coming up soon. You could cut like one flower from your garden or something and just put it in here and have a fresh flower on your desk. And it's so small that it doesn't take up space. Also, I love the decor. So this is quite rough. But then this is beautifully coated from the inside. It's all coated, and then it has this nice ring of like a discolored type of a distress look, and then how the color kind of goes and drops into this, which looks just so beautiful. I mean, it's beautifully done. And yeah, or you could also store brushes in there, or pencils or anything like that. In fact, I'm going to store my brushes in here because they were sitting in this little bottle, but I think this is actually better for a flower because you can see it gets a little bit tight in there. So if I want to add an extra brush, like a size up, so here I have a 10, it wouldn't have fit into there. And then if I wanted to have another one, I can kind of keep all of my favorite brushes here, so the Jacksons and the silver black velvets. Okay, so that works beautifully, so that's gonna live over there. Now then, next thing I got is this. Actually, these three things are for the same matter that I got, but I can use them in different ways. So these little plates, they're like £1 each, I think. So really affordable. So what you can do is, if you're working on a project with like beads, little things, or these type of things, you know, something that's quite small, you could just put them inside and it kind of looks pretty on your desk, and also easier to get into because it's open. You don't need to work from a box, but also you can mix colors like watercolors, for example, or things like that, but it's it doesn't have much space in here, so I would probably use it for little ephemera pieces and things like that, if you wanted to create like a journal layout. So it's super adorable. They also, by the way, had other patterns. I went for this, and I love the yellow with this salmon peach color and the florals, the botanical, beautiful. So these, and then this is pretty obvious, I think. It's a candle holder, and again the color was perfect. And sometimes I like burning candles. It's for one of those stick candles, so you can do that and also use the space around it. Like quite often I take my ring off, so I could put my rings there if I'm working on something messy, or like with different mediums. So yeah, again, great little addition to the studio. And finally, this is a little dish that I got predominantly for mixing paints. I constantly ran out of spaces for mixing colors, and this is a great one because it's not big. It's sort of slightly bigger than my palm, really, but it has enough space, and the fact that it's flat actually means that you can do loads and loads of colors here. So I am quite happy to use that. It's nice and smooth and polished, so I could mix up my colors and use it as a little plate. Also, there is a little hole here, and it actually, I think it's supposed to be like a sushi dish or something, because it had chopsticks, which I only realized when I got home that they were included with this dish when you buy them, but I didn't get the chopsticks. So the chopsticks you kind of put through like so, and they stay there. So I guess I could use that for my brush so that it doesn't roll around. And that way I could have colors around here maybe, or something like that. So it's quite easy to use, and I thought it's quite neat. If I wanted to hold it like that to paint with, again, I can hold it, and maybe not like that, but I think this feels quite comfortable. Okay, so that's it. Is it it? Oh no, the museum stuff. So that's it for the tiger shop. I got a little booklet here. So this is the Flower and Fruit Portraits by Jan van Huysum, Miraculous Bouquets, and it's a very small book. It's only this big, and it cost me about 10 quid, so a bit pricey for this size, but he was a very important figure in the botanical arts of that time, which, if I'm not mistaken, was 1800 or 70. Yes, so 18th century. And yeah, so he was very, very important, and his work is just stunning because he made things like insects be kind of like a fashionable addition. I mean, it's natural to obviously have all these insects, little flies and ants to be added, but if you think about it, when you're painting, you kind of want it to be pristine and no bugs there and things, but he made it look very natural. And also how he was drawing and creating this luminosity in his painting. So the grapes, they look like they're lit from within. The way he played with light was stunning, but also the details of darker elements, pushing things to the background, bringing things to the foreground, the water droplets. He was just, at that time, he knew how to do all of these things, and a lot of modern botanical artists get inspired by his work. This is what I'm talking about here. The pomegranate seeds, they just look like they're real. They just are super stunning. The fact that there is a broken up plum and all the ants are over it and eating it, so adorable. Then the juice from the pomegranate, the detailing is just incredible. If you don't know of this artist, I highly recommend it, because it's sort of like as if he photographs the nature and the botanical food and flower illustrations, but in a very glamorous and very luscious way. So it doesn't look, how shall I say, realistic in a kind of cold way, if you know what I mean. It doesn't look like it's just been copied to bit and that's it, but it has a very significant style. So really, really beautiful. Here is his name again, if you want to look him up. And then from the exhibition itself, there were a few postcards. So the exhibition talks about foods and the meaning of them in the olden days. And so there were some pretty beautiful paintings as well. I love this lobster, and again, the dark background is a great style for botanical art. It's a very classic one. And look at those berries, they look like they're made out of glass. Let's see. So, still life with a lobster. Joris Van Son, so this is someone else. So the museum is the Fitzwilliam Museum. And then this was a table arrangement of, I guess, of the rich people and how they would dine and decorate the table, and you know how things like birds and feathers was a thing to be on the table. So the more of that, the more glamorous it was considered. And then this painting, I really loved it. It's of a asparagus. Now this is obviously a photograph of it, but it just, in reality, this painting looked like it was like a real bunch of asparagus sitting there. It was beautifully painted, again with all this darkness and the shadowing, how things dissolve into the shadow here, and a few of them come into the background, foreground. Just really, really stunning. So this one is A Bundle of Asparagus by Adrian Curte. And then a few paintings like this as well, which I really love, sort of kitchen scenes. So again, it sort of represented the foods that were eaten and cooked by the cooks of the house and the settings of it. And it's just beautiful to me. That I find very satisfying, always did. So that's that. And then not sure where this lady came from. I don't think she was part of the exhibition. 1920, Henry Matisse. Okay, so it's a Matisse painting. So I really liked her look and the painting, and I thought maybe I'll give a go, something like that with acrylic paints one day. And so that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed this little haul of sorts. And thanks for watching. See you soon.